In professional wrestling, many superstars are remembered for championships, but some are remembered for a symbol. For decades, one man stepped into the ring wearing a mask, not to hide his identity, but to reveal something bigger. This is the story of Rey Mysterio and the secret behind why he never truly removed his mask. Rey Mysterio didn't just become a masked wrestler by choice. He was born into a culture where the mask meant honor. In Mexican lucha libre wrestling, a mask is sacred. It represents heritage, pride, and identity. Losing a mask is considered one of the greatest humiliations a wrestler can face. Trained by his uncle, Rey Mysterio Sr., the young wrestler learned early that the mask wasn't a costume, it was a legacy passed down through generations. From the very beginning, the mask became part of who he was. When Rey arrived in American wrestling promotions, things were different. Bigger wrestlers dominated. Muscle mattered more than agility. Many believed a small, masked luchador would never succeed. But Rey proved them wrong. His speed, aerial moves, and fearless style made fans fall in love instantly. And the mask? It made him unique. It turned him into something unforgettable. Sometimes a wrestler doesn't lose a match. He loses a part of himself. For Rey Mysterio, that moment came in 1999, inside the intense world of World Championship Wrestling. It wasn't just another fight. It was a mask versus title match, a tradition rooted in honor. But this time, the decision wasn't truly his. When the match ended, the unthinkable happened. Rey Mysterio was forced to remove his mask in front of millions watching around the world. The arena went silent. For fans, it felt shocking. But for Rey, it felt personal. Behind that mask was years of culture, sacrifice, and identity, inspired by the sacred traditions of Mexican lucha libre. Later, Rey admitted something powerful. He said losing the mask felt like losing his soul inside the ring. From that night forward, he understood one truth. The mask wasn't just gear, it was who he was. And one day, he promised himself he would bring it back and never let it go again. Sometimes, redemption doesn't arrive quietly. It returns with purpose. After years away from the spotlight, Rey Mysterio stepped back into WWE, and this time, something felt different. The mask was back. For fans, it wasn't just nostalgia, it was emotional closure. The moment Rey appeared wearing his legendary mask again, the crowd erupted. Cheers weren't only for a superstar, they were for a symbol that had finally returned home. During his time away, Rey had rebuilt himself, physically and mentally. He understood that the mask represented more than tradition. It represented resilience. Every move inside the ring now carried deeper meaning. Every jump, every comeback, every victory reminded fans why he was never meant to wrestle without it. Rey once said the mask connects him to his heritage, his family, and the millions who see themselves in his story. And when he stood under the lights again, masked and proud, it wasn't just a comeback. It was a restoration of identity. The legend hadn't changed. He had simply reclaimed who he was always meant to be. For many wrestlers, a costume is part of the character, but for Rey Mysterio, the mask was never just gear. It was identity. From the moment he stepped into the ring, the mask carried generations of lucha libre tradition, a culture built on honor, mystery, and respect. Behind it stood not only a performer, but a legacy passed down through Mexican wrestling history. Fans didn't just see a superstar, they saw hope. Children wearing masks in the crowd believed anyone, no matter their size, could become a hero. Rey proved that strength wasn't about height or power, it was about heart.
The mask allowed him to become larger than one person. It turned him into a symbol of perseverance for underdogs around the world. Every time he flew from the ropes, every time he stood back up after defeat, the mask reminded people that resilience defines greatness. Without it, he was a wrestler. With it, he became an icon. Because sometimes a mask doesn't hide who you are. It reveals who you were always meant to be.
As years passed, Rey's story evolved. His son Dominic entered WWE. A new generation began. But the mask remained. Not because Rey needed to hide, but because legends don't abandon symbols that inspire people. In the end, the real reason was never about hiding his face. For Rey Mysterio, the mask protected something far more important: tradition, culture, and belief. It represented every dreamer who felt overlooked, every kid who thought size defined limits, and every fan who needed a hero they could relate to. Removing the mask would mean ending a story bigger than one man. So he kept wearing it, not for himself, but for the people. Because sometimes legends aren't remembered for who they were, but for what they chose to stand for.